Hey guys, welcome to Between Two Couches, episode 8. We're joined today by Colm O'Reilly and Sam Stewart, fresh back from regionals in Berlin. First off, Sam, congratulations. Well done on your performance, and particularly your attitude all the way throughout the weekend. It was fantastic to watch it.
Thanks.
So welcome back to us.
Thank you very much.
What did you make of the whole experience?
Yeah, it was really cool. It's kind of hard to just remember everything and say it in words, but like I kind of was saying at one point that it'd be cool if we could bring the whole gym just to kind of see and experience the whole thing, almost so I wouldn't have to explain it so much. But
sorry for asking the question.
No, it's good. But like, because it is, you can't, words will never kind of just say exactly how it was. You know, it's quite cool. And it also it was different for me and Colm as well, because we weren't always watching the events.
Yeah.
Like there's people saying, "Oh, I watched this." I was like, I haven't even watched it. You know, so people watching the crowd, watching at home is different to being in the that pen thing. So there's like railings between each of the athletes at the start. Numbers 1 to 10. You had to sit there for the full heat before the guys in the blue shirts start talking to each other with their headpiece, and then say, we're going, and you have to walk through the arena, down a huge amount of steps under the arena, and then kind of stall there for a bit, and then as the other workouts finishing up, they send you to the top of the steps. So you walk up the steps, you see like the roof, and then you see the people in the upper tiers, and then you're on the floor, and then it's so efficient that you're pretty much rubbing shoulders with the heat before you. Like I fist bumped some guys from the previous heat, and they were like sweaty and dead, and I was on the way in, fresh. So it was really tightly run shit, as well as so that was kind of the stuff we got to see.
Yeah.
That the people at home didn't see. This they just appear at 3:45, or but I was sitting there going.
10 seconds ago, we saw people walking out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's that you see, but there's me sitting around for half an hour before. Yeah. So before that, you had to even do your warm up. You had to so your heart rate was up. You cool down completely. You walk through the thing, and then you go. So it's kind of different to regular training,
That's good.
So it's the kind of stuff you didn't see. It's kind of cool.
Awesome. Colin, first impressions of such an event? Was that your first regionals that you?
Yeah, that's the first regionals that I got an athlete to. As arrogant as that sounds, I didn't get Sam there. I was lucky to be part of his journey. But the first time in regionals as a coach with a coach's pass, and it's great. You register, and there's that giddy excitement when they hand Sam an athlete T-shirt and they hand you your coaches and your athlete's wristband. Or they don't have an athlete's wristband; they do the cool tattoos. And that's cool. You go into the warm-up rig, and there's like that rogue rig, that big blue and black rig. It's exciting. You're seeing the bench stations, the assault bikes all lined up, and and then you're among you're a little bit of a fanboy as well, because you're like, there's the top guys I watch in the games. They're there, they're warming up, and the regular people. You're like, oh wow, that dude's not as big as we thought he looked, and oh, the girls aren't as tall as they look, because they, as Sean pointed out once, everyone looks massive on Instagram.
Yeah.
Even Sean looks big on Instagram. Even Sean. Shout out to my boy Sean. That's cool, but I suppose you're there, and there's Adrian Bosman, who's been the head judge. He's briefing regionals athletes, of course, and then I sneeze, and the whole arena looks around at me. So
laughed.
Yeah, laughed at me. So that was my claim to fame on it. But that was cool. And you're seeing all the organisation, people taping up things, wiping down, putting on the rogue stickers, and even that's cool, because you want to show people who are just starting off the CrossFit journey how big this whole thing has gotten, that because one guy in California decided, hey, this is the proper way to train fitness, or this is the best way he knew how to train fitness, and let's let the whole world experiment with this model we call CrossFit, that we have these giant, massive sporting events, and that's so cool that that's kind of the cool thing that you wish you could share with everyone.
Yeah, cool. And I guess to say wish you could share with everyone, we did have some of the team travelled over with you. Was it good having friendly faces there, to
yeah,
see?
It was. I remember doing some of the workouts, and I was pretty much always in lane 1 for some reason. Just look at the draw.
It was great for us to see you on camera, though.
Yeah, lane 1 is pretty suitable that way, but I could always see the crew down the end of the lane. And I just remember seeing Danny. Danny's very into it. So I see his face on him with his arms in the air going behind his head. Stop looking, and go back to business here.
Yeah.
You could see them, you could see them screaming and stuff down the end. It's pretty cool. And it was good in the evening as well, so we could go for food and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes I showed up and they were all drunk, and I was like, oh, I really want to eat.
I need to remember. Hey guys, a few technical issues. So if you see that we're sitting in slightly different positions, that's why. So this is take two, not quite different positions like that. Colm, you were talking about having some of the team out there, how great it was to kind of be able to, I guess, unwind and talk to them as just the same as you would sitting on the couches here.
Oh yeah, unbelievably good. Because first of all, people are taking time and the expense to travel to Germany, get a hotel, buy tickets for the event, and they all bought floor tickets, which were, the premium stuff, so they could be at the lane and encourage Sam home. But in the evening, they made a big difference because you'd meet up at the mats of the venue and they'd be incredibly proud of Sam, and they'd also be respectful that I still felt I had a job to do. So that was a good thing, and I'll give Aga a shout out because she kind of realised at the end of the day, she goes, now are you relaxed? Because she'd know I'd be like, guys, I need to get Sam home, No?
It's not that kind of thing.
Did that make it weird?
Yes.
Yeah. But, there'd be 10 minutes of talking about the regionals and the events, and then we'd just go for dinner and have the crack and banter and laugh and joke about everything for a couple of hours, and that's just great too. You can't really focus that much focused as an athlete. It's just too tough, it just drags you down. But the fact that you go and laugh and joke and completely be yourself. Sam didn't have to put on a show, because let's face it, he's a show pony when he's out there. So that made a huge difference to give us that opportunity to relax.
Yeah.
So in terms of relaxing and stuff, Sam, you had 2 events each day for 3 days.
Yeah.
We're running through regionals weekly at the moment, so we're getting a taster for what they're like.
Yeah.
How did you manage your recovery, your headspace as well between each event? So some of them went well, some not so well.
Yeah.
What did you do once you walked off the floor?
Walked off the floor, you just try to get cool down. So I'd usually be quite sweaty, so wipe that down.
T-shirt was fine.
Change clothes, so I'm ready to go again. Then I usually use the Compex. We use the Compex to kind of flush some blood back through the muscles.
Yeah.
And there was these massage guys on call. There was 12 of them, ready to go at all times, just to, lube you up and get you going. And that was really good. So you just have to sign your name, and the guy would go, "What's wrong?" "Oh, my back is sore."
Okay, that's good.
That was good. There were ice baths, but they were I'd say a kilometre of walking underneath the building through a maze to find, so I didn't use them.
I've done my cardio for the day now.
And then, trying to get some food in between. So we bought these smoothies just for some sugar to get into. We had fulfill bars we brought. I'd use my Blonics then to double scoop up again before the next one. Drink a lot of water as well, that kind of thing. And then, so you probably have 2 hours between us. So that would probably take the first hour. Then you have to warm up, and then, like I said earlier, there's that long waiting period before the workout. So you had to start your warm up probably earlier than you think.
Yeah.
Because they had another thing that they put on your ankle timers and stuff. So for your start line runs. So there's a lot of, and then you had to top up your tattoos if they were fading or whatever. So they had to leave room for that as well. What was the question again?
How did you recover, in terms of physically and headspace?
Oh yeah, headspace wise, that was physically, I guess, and then headspace wise, I didn't really worry about the next workout because I knew what they were going to be because they were ahead of the time, so I didn't have to worry. And I also was sitting there. One time I was sitting in the pen thing, and the guy in the blue shirt in my lane was just I was yawning apparently. I was lying back on the seat, and I was like, "Do you want a blanket?" He was just confused. I was so tired. I was like, I don't. I kind of just realised that I don't have to worry about anything at that point, because as soon as the thing goes 3, 2, 1 beep or whatever, I'm going to do my 100%, no matter what I was thinking back in the pen. So it doesn't really affect me then, because it'll switch on as I have to go. So it's I'll let future workout Sam worry about the workout itself when it starts, because I trust him that
Sam's going to
he'll do 100%. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't worry too much about anything. I think there was a lot of guys who were super hyped up and tried to psych themselves up, maybe tried to psych other people out, but I just didn't mind them. There's a good few sound people to talk to. and most people were okay. I thought I was kind of probably one of the more chilled out guys actually. And we were talking about after that. The regional was actually my first individual CrossFit competition, except for the BroFit, which is in here, so it's a bit different, yeah. So that was didn't make any difference, you know, because it's the same. I thought it was the same as just doing the workouts in here back to back, that sort of thing. So
you've kind of preempted me. I was going to go to Colm with the same question again, but like you've preempted my next question.
Oh,
what was going through your mind, like say the 30, 20 seconds just before you get brought out onto the floor, or as you're waiting for the 3, 2, 1?
Generally finding Jim and giving him a thumbs up.
yeah, Jim succeeded to make himself known throughout the crowd, usually up to this kind of side of me, and I'm like, oh, Jim, it's very good, without fail. 3, 2, 1, you're kind of just sitting there, standing there. The first workout, I was a bit distracted because I was like, oh, cool, you know, looking around, and the 3K row isn't the most exciting, keeping your mind on the ball kind of workout, you know. So I remember doing the row and looking at the guy next to me screen. He's going 155. I was like, that's not very good. And I looked over to the guy next to me who ended up winning the whole event, and he was going 141. I went, that's very good. So I was trying to stay in between, and I was just distracted. I could see myself on the big screen down the back. I went, oh, better get back to it properly, you know, and that kind of stuff. So. The first one's a bit distracted after that, and now probably the workout itself was a bit long and long-winded, so you had the time to think. But also just walking up into the noise of it, you know, that was kind of cool. It didn't set me off or put me off in any way. It was just kind of cool. I was still just doing a workout at the end of the day, you know. So that's cool. Yeah.
Colm, same kind of question. I think you touched on a bit earlier on as well about getting Sam to recover. What are your memories from the in-between slots of the workouts? Anything Sam didn't cover?
So
definitely found it hard to
I got a photo taken by the fans because I'm sitting on the steps just on my phone, and there was no signal, so I wasn't even texting. It's just literally taking notes of Sam throughout the workout. Like, he finished his muscle ups in 22 seconds. He was onto his handstand walk at this point. This is how long his rest was. This is where he's doing well. Like, you know, you're kind of thinking like that because you don't want to just sit back and watch it and miss the opportunity to train him. Then you go in and you just gather his thoughts first. You know, let him say whatever he wanted to do, like, oh my God, I thought I'd done 50 double unders, I did 29, or that was really cool, I kept a good pace on that, or, you know, my back I'm locked up and I couldn't run between my barbell. You know, so you take these initial thoughts and you're thinking, right, okay, this is a job for future Colm and future Sam to work through. And then it's like, okay, cool. He'd need 20 minutes just to sit down, and at that point I just sort of place things in front of him, letting him know what's in front. Like, here's water, here's your smoothie, here's your fill bar, let's go get you to the guys, we're going to complex, you're up again in 3 hours. Cool. And you just need that time to calm down. And that's one thing that's really important, because if you're always up here, you can't then step it up when the workout starts. So that ability to yawn and actually fall asleep in the holding pen is brilliant, because it means if your muscles are relaxed, they can fire when you need them to. If you're always hyped, you burn out midway through Saturday. So the fact that he was relaxed and the fatigue didn't hit him until event 6 was good. And it's just getting him through that and timing that, and then, you know, you try and get out of that headspace as much as you can. Like, hey, let's go to the Reebok or the road tent. Let's have a little look around. You know, let's see if there's stuff to do. You know, and that's important because it gets them to relax. And then inevitably, like, you know, Kate or Fee would find us. You know, so it was brilliant because I could never find them, but they could always find them. So that was cool, and that was a challenge. And it actually goes by incredibly quickly. You wake up, you get breakfast, you head to the venue. It's like you're checking in 2 hours beforehand, and you kind of almost blink, and it's like, oh, that's the day over with, you know?
Yeah, I saw something similar. So it does go by really quickly, but you've done so much stuff in that day that we finished about 4 o'clock, and I thought if I walked outside, it would be dark.
Yeah.
But it was still 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I easily could have been 10 o'clock at night, you know, because there was so much condensed stuff in that day. It was a full day's stuff done before 4 o'clock, you know. So
kudos. They run such a tight show, and there's so many amazing things happening.
Awesome. So, whichever you wants to take the lead on this, go for it. You can swap back and forth. The individual events themselves, like we said at the start, like we talked about this already as it was in person. Like, some went well, some maybe not so well.
Mm.
Event 1 to event 6. Want to talk through them?
Go through, we just go in order, event 1?
It's up to you. It's probably the handiest way to track them.
Yeah, event 1, probably going in I wouldn't say I was dreading any of them, but that was probably the one I didn't want to do the most. But I can't even say that because I was going to do them all anyway, and I did want to be there, you know, so, but like that, because I had some experience with the assault runner, and it's a serious piece of kit, and it's a long time on the assault runner. So I was next to the guy who won. He won the heat I was in, and then won the whole weekend.
That was the Russian athlete.
Yeah, Roman Krekhinov or something. He was on that side, so I was looking. So the row went good, and the double unders I did 50 double. I counted 50 double unders, and the judge went 35. And I went, all right. And so that took a bit longer than I thought. And then the run was okay, but halfway through running the workout, the microphone chap goes, these athletes are getting about halfway through the workout now, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, and because your man next to me was nearly done or something, so I was holding an 8:30 pace estimate, and he was holding like a 7:30. Well, I brought mine down to about 7:15 towards the last mile, end of last mile. That was cool. That was fun. That was cool to start it off. I know I was dreading it, but the day before, actually seeing the arena and stuff, I was like, oh, I actually can't wait to do it. Weirdly enough, I was probably dreading it at the start of the week. Got there, saw it, couldn't wait to do it.
Yeah.
Event 2, what was event 2? Linda.
We go event for event, will we?
Do you want to say stuff?
Will we?
Yeah, go on.
You with the lower heart rate. Anything you saw that?
Event 2 is like the weird thing as a coach. You start panicking because there's a 10-second penalty if you run around your bar. So
which I hadn't known. Actually, pointed out yesterday to me.
They dropped it on us on Thursday. So event 2 runs out, and you're like, okay, cool, and the bench is no problem, and then you notice, oh, hang on, his pin height is a little high. But you've got like 30 seconds from when you walk, 60 seconds from when you start walking out to when the event starts. So that's a very quick time to hop in, and you can't really test the bench when you've 55 of them to do.
They asked us to test it the day before.
Yeah.
But I think I'm setting 18, and I think it was on setting 19.
Yeah, and that was enough that it made it tricky to re-rack it as well. And you know, you're looking at his movement quality, and it was really like, I mean, his movement quality is really good, and you're checking, okay, you know, you round your back a little bit over 55 deadlifts. By the time that weekend adds up, by the time that workout adds up, that's a big thing. And you know, you're kind of checking out his time of training and how long he's actually taking to do it. And in your head as a coach, you're like, just touch and go, you idiot, what's wrong with you, you know? And then you go and do the workout, and you do one, and then you take like 15 seconds break, and you chalk up, and you grab a swig of water, and you're like, oh, this is why you didn't touch and go. You know, and that was good. I think the rack thing threw him a little bit, because that obviously slowed down his bench, cost him a little bit more fatigue, you know?
I didn't mind the rack thing that much. I thought it was the run, whatever way you have to run in the assault runner really fires up your back and your glutes. Going to do deadlifts like that, then going to do cleans, sets off your back. So then when I try to run again, to little jog from the clean bar around the bench and definitely over the bar for the deadlift, because they specifically said that in the briefing. And then the demonstration guy ran around the bar and gave him some shit. But I went to run and my back would lock up this way, you know, and my back would just, the muscles would be seized up from my arse to the top of my back, you know. So that was something I thought would probably, I'd take away a lot more than just the clips from the bench, you know. I didn't mind the clip. I just banged on the way up, and then unracking it was a bit of an issue, but I was like, it's not, I didn't really mind.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Event 3.
Yeah.
3.
So
Handstands.
this is the handstand walk. So it's muscle ups.
Muscle ups, handstand
Handstand
walk,
walk, up
pistols.
steps, down a ramp, up ramp, down steps, and pistols.
Muscle ups. Muscle ups are fine.
Yeah.
Went to do my first like 10 attempts on the handstand thing, and I was the last to make it over, I think. But once I got over, because in the warm-up room, I was going fine in the warm-up room. I saw people kind of overdoing it, I thought, in the warm-up room, so I was like, I don't want to tire myself out, because you could see their shoulders are actually starting to wobble, which eventually happens at the end of the workout, but didn't want to do in the warm-up room. finally got over the thing. I think my pistol speed was probably faster than most guys, so that saved me a lot of time. And then started kind of in the middle rounds to kind of get over the thing a bit easier. Muscle ups, I just went 6 and 3 just to be a bit smart. And then on the last set of muscle ups, getting back over was really tough. I wouldn't even say I felt any muscles being sore, but it's just, you couldn't get over. There was no balance. You start twisting and stuff. It was just so hard to get over. So eventually you had to get over the red line. I just kind of fell and slapped both hands on the red line. And I looked up at your man and was like, yeah. And I just sprinted and tried like 10 seconds of pistols before the workout ran out. I thought that was probably one of the most fun workouts. So even though I flipped off the thing a few times, didn't hurt myself, so it was fun. But that was super fun.
Excellent.
And then event 4 was my jam.
Event 4 was his jam. So it's funny because like he obliterated his heat. And I'm writing notes, and I wrote, his burpees are too slow. That's what I wrote down. Because there was like this tiny little step. It was like fast, but you know, in my head, I'm like, okay, this is season 2019 thing. And we go back and we're in the warm-up room, and Sam has like that Fran long, like he's bleeding inside his chest.
I was bleeding from the top of my knees
yeah.
to my neck.
And I'm like, we're sitting on the bike, and then I noticed that he's beaten everyone in the higher up heat. So then you kind of get the excitement. You wouldn't be human if you didn't get the excitement, because like we're competitive and
it's a sport.
We absolutely want to do our best, but when we find out that our best could actually bump us up a whole bunch of spots. I then take out my timing notes, and I'm standing there and I'm like, Sam, do you know you're ahead of the top heat pace? And in between me and Sam Stewart was Sam Briggs, games champion. And she's like, huh? I was like, not you, Sam, this Sam. And then we all started talking. And the buzz in the athlete area, this is the type of thing that you wish you could share with everyone. When everyone was like just praying Adrian Woodweiler would like get a no rep, or just slow down just a little bit by 3 seconds. Like everyone was like, oh my God, it's Sam. Like this unknown guy out of nowhere was going to do that. And you know, that was obviously a highlight, but more so that we were so confident in our game plan, and it paid off, that it gave us hope that, well, if we stick with it and stick with the training and the game plan, we could be challenging these guys in every event.
Yeah.
So that was a good buzz. And I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to say the fact that Sam's the same after event 5, which chewed him up and spat him out, and then chewed him up and spat him out again. Okay? The fact that Sam's the same regardless of whether he finished his best relative finish and his worst relative finish speaks a lot to how he holds the values in place. And it's like, no, I did my best in that event, and I did my best in this event. Whatever everyone else does. And he even said it, I think Danny asked a question, he goes, what do you feel about the other dudes? He goes, they can't hurt me. They can't do anything to me. You know, no one, like, it's not like in a CrossFit workout someone can come along and like punch you in the gut or steal your plates.
Generally.
Okay, generally. Who knows? After my program in the games this year.
Take a dig and then do a deadlift.
But that was cool. Like, despite that after then 5, he was still the same guy. So I did my best. I did as absolutely good as I could. You know. So it was a cool experience to chat with a games winner who was rooting for our guy. You know, it kind of was like, oh, we've made it. People are rooting for us, and then, you know, BKG coming up and fist bumping Sam, and everyone were like, where did this guy come from? You know.
Yeah. I thought it was we were saying in the warm-up room that we were kind of thinking we could do well in that one. Yeah. Because like lads were struggling with the snatches here, going singles, and I found it okay. Yeah. To like. It was very, you know, Sean would have had a head melt seeing some of the guys snatching in the warm-up room, you know. Splits out this way, basically hitting their ribs off the bar to get it up there, you know, or their quads, you know, so. Shagging the bar. So I saw, oh, we're a bit better than that guy, I thought, so that could go well.
The Brett workout.
So at the top of each one, I was like, I didn't go here, and you see people, especially with cleans, they just jump it off the shoulder back to the next clean. But just take a second at the top and kind of pause, and then just focus on the next one. So that seemed to pay off, and it was quite cool running over the line and seeing like the crew again there at the end. Yeah, and that was quite cool.
You got a chance for all the cameras to swarm you as well.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. But I was watching it back the other day, and I couldn't believe the song from Ali G started playing at the start. I thought it was actually brilliant.
Were we looking for that song this morning in the workout?
It's not on Spotify. I've discovered because I was looking. So event 5, I knew it was going to actually be my worst one going in, because we practiced it and it wasn't going well. Step overs is just very challenging. I probably could tweak the way I do step overs, but I saw when I went to do the handstand push-ups, was the first thing. My arms like felt dead after 10, so I went, it's going to be a long workout at the time, but just kept doing them. Toes bar felt good, bike felt grand, and then a step over time. And I was actually, it's weird because the open standard of the handstand push-up, that shafted everyone because you had to really get all the way up and be straight. The guy next to me was going like to about there. He was bouncing his head off the floor. I was like, I wish the camera could zoom in on this guy because it was appalling. Like I'm not calling him out or anything, but like it was just a shock to see the open standard. He got there to this point doing the open standard, you presume, and then goes back to just doing piss poor handstand push-ups. So I was like, maybe that's something to. Not should we train piss poor handstand push-ups? That's what I'm saying.
No, like, not train piss poor handstand.
But it was weird to see.
There was a different standard for the handstand push-ups, I guess. Like, so his judge was giving him reps. So we have to presume the lower heart rate judge.
It's also Sunday for a judge. Sam's upside down. Sam's tired and thing. I didn't see it. So
that's what I mean. The judge with the lower heart rate is probably seeing things that we're not.
Yeah, exactly. No. I agree.
Your heart rate jacked up.
Event 5. So the box step over is just really tough. That kind of.
Yeah.
So what did you say to yourself as you're going through them? How did you convince yourself to keep picking them up to this thing that is clearly a big struggle for you? It's not like just how quickly can I do the snatch.
Well, I knew I was going to pick it up anyway.
Okay.
That was the aim of the workout, to get through box step overs.
Okay. So you didn't feel sorry for yourself. You just
no. But I did the first 3. My grip started going, my shoulders started going, and my legs went, and my lower back completely went.
Okay, so what was fine?
What was fine? My heart rate was actually not as bad as I thought. My heart rate lowered as I went through them. Okay. So coming off the bike, my heart rate was like, oh, Lord. Doing 3s, I started holding 3s. As my heart rate got better, where I probably could have done more reps in a row, that's when my muscle fatigue kicked in. So it was heart rate at first, muscle fatigue towards the end. I could only kind of hold doing 3s towards the whole thing. There was no way in hell I was going to stop though. I don't know what you're getting at, but it's going to be till that time went. I was going to
that's what
kick my ass.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like
But they also said, if you stop making an effort to continue through the workout, you can get disqualified or something. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, but that wasn't even. I don't think that's applicable to anyone.
Okay.
At that level of CrossFit.
There you go. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just do the work.
No one else is sorry for you. Definitely don't feel sorry for yourself. Yeah. And then event 6, last one. At that point I felt absolutely wrecked. I thought I was going to just pass out in the holding pen thing. I know I was actually yawning most of them, but that one actually felt like I could really eat some food. I really should eat more food. But obviously that's your last workout. That's your 6th workout. So it's a lot of workouts. So I went to do. So I had nothing in the legs, nothing in the arms, and it turned out to be heavy thrusters and rope climbs. So arms and legs, very vital. I went to do my rope climbs went grand. I went to do my first thruster and I stood out the clean and forgot to press it. So I had to squat at it again and go again. And then on my last thruster on the 16th, so the first round, I just got buckled by and the bar shot forward and I set off my wrists. My wrists are a bit sore now, but fuck it, This is the last workout of the whole weekend of regionals, last workout of 6 to 9 months of training, I guess. Yeah. So I just picked it up again and did it and ran back. So I think if I was it's easy to say if I was fresh I could do this, but genuinely I think probably shave 34 seconds off that. But that was just a fight to the very end, trying, seeing the way I was feeling going in. So I was happy with that one as well. That one went alright.
It was faster than training as well.
Yeah, faster than my training time. So.
Cool. So enjoyable weekend, even with the ups and downs.
Oh, it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Massive.
Unreal.
Sorry, we've been longer than normal episode, but one final question. We spoke about future Sam there earlier on.
Future Sam.
Current Sam is on rest for the week at least, as far as I know.
So
what are the plans for future Sam?
Well, I was honestly hoping to get a nap. I was honestly hoping to get a nap on the flight on the way back, and we were taxiing. We hadn't even taken off, and he just turns to me and goes, "Okay, so what's the plan for 2019?" I was like, "Wow, I thought we'd wait till we at least get back in Dublin," which is cool. And we spent the whole flight just talking back and forth, pulling up the notes, and saying, right, well, there's strength thing, there's this, there's mobility, there's movement. That was one of the cool things Sam said over the weekend. He was like, PD moves really well. I need to move that well, you know, and that's
squat mechanics.
that's good because, you know, in the gym, we look at Sam, and Sam is clearly the fittest in the gym by the open standards. And he's looking at other people going, I need to move better, not I need to train harder, I need to do tripler days. Like, there's a limit to how many hours Sam can put in metconning and doing strength work and back squats and dumbbell step overs and all that. So I need to move better, which is good for him that he come up with the mobility focus as well. We can't tell everything because, you know, it's the super secret squirrel program. But it's basically improve everything and set markers and put the work through it. You know, but that was the cool thing, that it was straight away, he was like, yeah, I want to improve and I want to do better. And another shout out is, like, we met Army for the first time, Arminius, qualified from Cork. This guy sounds anything.
Well, not
great.
a bad word said about Arminius.
Absolute,
super cool.
Absolute gent. You know, he introduced himself to us straight away, and like it was like we'd known him all our lives. We were hanging around, joking, and he made regionals really enjoyable. You know, he was. When it came off the workout, he was all happy. He was full of praise for Sam anytime he saw him. You know, super positive guy, type of our people essentially. So hopefully get to train with him a little bit more. You know, essentially the plan is sit down next Monday. You know that we've had a week to think about it, and we've had this and review it and go from there essentially.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for listening. That was episode 8. A little bit longer than normal. Any questions or comments? Always let us know. Tune in for episode 9.
All me talking.
Thanks, guys.